The school leader at Growing Up Green Elementary School. It is 6:05, and so we are going to begin. I just wanted to give you a quick run through of how this evening is going to work. We're going to take you through a presentation that has videos embedded throughout it, walking you through everything you need to know about our school. At the end, we will be answering questions and answers. At the bottom of your screen, you'll see a little box that says Q&A. Please go ahead and type your questions into that section. We will be responding throughout the presentation and then at the end live. We're recording this evening's presentation so that we can share it with you following today. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Growing Up Green Charter School's new family orientation for the elementary school in Long Island City. We are so glad you're here with us, and we have lots of exciting things to share with you about our school. We hope we're able to answer all of your questions today, and if not, please feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to help. If you want this presentation in Spanish, you can please email Nixie Ramirez. Her email address is there.
Si desean esta presentación en español, por favor envíenme un correo electrónico. Mi nombre es Nixie Ramírez. Tengan buen día.
Helping us this evening, we have many people. Myself, I'm Eris Colgan. I'm the school leader.
Hi, everyone. I'm Erin Acosta. I'm the Director of Development. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jana Lunetta. I'm the Associate Director of Operations.
Hi, everyone. My name is Masame Safar. I'm the Senior Director of Operations.
The following folks are not here live, but they have videos embedded in our presentation. We have Kirsten Russell, who's our Director of Support Services. We have Anthony Lisi, who's our Support Services and IEP Coordinator. Rachel Gautham is our ENL Coordinator, and Lauren Balterman is our Director of Counseling. The Growing Up Green Charter School empowers children to be conscious, contributing members of their community through a rigorous curriculum and an engaging green culture. Graduates of GUGS will be prepared to attend high-performing schools where their interdisciplinary academic foundation, knowledge of sustainability, and strong sense of self sets them apart as leaders of the future. Growing Up Green Charter School is one school, kindergarten through 8th grade. We have 2 campuses in Long Island City. One campus is for kindergarten through 5th grade, and our other campus is 6th through 8th grade. 5th graders are guaranteed a spot in our middle school group. This slide highlights the high schools that this year's 8th grade graduating class will attend in the fall. We are so proud of all of the Growing Up Green graduates. Our school culture is grounded in 5 core values. Our 5 core values are marked by our acronym GREEN. G for giving back to those in our community. R for respecting those around us. E for embracing the differences in ourselves and others. E for empowering one another to always be our best. And N to nurture one another as we all learn and grow. School culture is an important component within the Growing Up Green community. We nurture ourselves and one another through celebrating our successes, our growths, and our relationships with one another. We do this throughout the school year in many different ways. Assemblies, concerts, winter carnival, diversity week, spirit week, sustainability fair, field day, and book fairs are just to name a few. As you join our community, we look forward to engaging in many more opportunities where we can learn, grow, and celebrate together. Responsive classroom is at the foundation of our school culture at Growing Up Green. All faculty and staff are trained in responsive classroom, from classroom teachers to our facilities team. Responsive classroom is a social emotional curriculum that helps kids feel connected and joyful about their learning experiences. Every classroom at Growing Up Green begins their day with a morning meeting. Morning meeting consists of 4 components: a greeting, where each child gets to say hello to one another and they themselves are also greeted; a share, where they get to share something about themselves, their preferences; an activity that unites them as a community; and then a message from the teacher that highlights what's to come in the day. Responsive classroom is woven throughout everything we do and helps make our community richer and more connected.
Hi everyone, my name is Lauren Balterman and I'm the Director of Counseling. Here at Growing Up Green, the counseling department works very closely with all classroom teachers to utilize the Second Step program. During Second Step time, social emotional topics are implemented to teach and empower students to learn and talk about topics such as social skills, conflict resolution, and empathy. Both Second Step and responsive classrooms are evidence-based programs. We use the two here at Growing Up Green together and in conjunction to create and ensure safe and joyous communities inside and outside the classroom. If you have any other questions, please feel free to contact the counseling department. I look forward to meeting and seeing you soon. Thanks.
Inside our school day. At Growing Up Green, we have 3 classes per grade in grades K through 5. Each classroom has 2 teachers in each room and about 30 students. That leaves a ratio of about 1 teacher to every 15 students. Each grade has about 90 students, and we have 3 different teaching models within our classrooms at Growing Up Green. We have lead assist, so there's 1 lead teacher who is more senior in their teaching career and an associate teacher. We have the co-teaching model, which is 2 certified teachers teaching side by side with equal responsibilities. And we also offer ICT teaching. ICT stands for Integrated Co-Teaching Design. An integrated co-teaching model offers 1 general education teacher and 1 special education teacher in the room. It's important to note that all classes at Growing Up Green practice an inclusive model. At Growing Up Green, we're incredibly lucky to have 4 content area coordinators to support and work with teachers in implementing and developing robust units of study that meet students' needs. At Growing Up Green, we have Angela Shee, who is our assessment coordinator. So she helps us organize assessments, collect data, and monitor student growth throughout the school year. We have Johanna Kriegel, who is our literacy coordinator, and Kayla Roby, who's our math coordinator. We also have an Ed Time coordinator. Ed Time stands for Explore and Discover Time. This is something that's unique to our school. And Explore and Discover Time is the project-based approach we take to exploring social studies standards. We are currently in the process of hiring our Ed Time coordinator for the 2020-2021 school year. We are eager for this new member to join our team and the ways that they will support our teachers and students throughout the year. Our core subjects at Growing Up Green include math, literacy, Ed Time, that's how we address social studies standards, and science. At the elementary school, we are incredibly lucky to offer a science lab experience to students. Students have half of their science classes in the classroom and the other half in the lab, allowing them access to hands-on experiment time. At Growing Up Green, we offer a variety of specials to students each week. We are incredibly lucky to offer physical education, where we have 2 PE teachers, Ms. Consiglio and Mr. Oliver. On this slide, you can see students playing games in the yard. You can also see Mr. Oliver and Ms. Consiglio dressed up for a spirit day. And in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see students competing in a family fitness challenge. All extraordinary events that our PE teachers put on this year. Up next, we offer art with Miss Canoe and Miss Joy. Here you'll see some students working on progress and creating art installations throughout our school. We have music that is led by Miss Wheeler, and here you'll see students performing in the lower left-hand corner. This was our concert for Black History Month that we performed at the Jacob Reese Center here in Long Island City. And in the upper right-hand corner, we have Green Voices. 4th and 5th grade students are allowed to audition for our Green Voices choir, and they perform at school events and community events throughout the school year. Next, we have Spanish and Latin American Studies. Our students in grades K through 2 study Spanish with Ms. Liliana Mendoza. And in grades 3 through 5, they take their Spanish lessons a little bit deeper and explore Latin American studies with Miss Yvette Orjuela. Most important is that we're able to offer recess every day for students. We offer indoor and outdoor recess options based on weather. We truly believe as a school the importance of play and having the opportunity to breathe fresh air and get some exercise outside. You'll see a detailed schedule of what a typical school day at Growing Up Green looks like. We are being flexible given the current circumstances in the world and understand that this schedule may look different as we approach learning for next school year. Remote learning was new to Growing Up Green's elementary school this school year. Given the guidance for social distancing this spring, we have embarked on a remote learning platform at the elementary school. We're using Google Classroom and live Zoom sessions to help students connect, engage, and participate in learning. We've been able to offer special classes each week for students and their families, and we offer a variety of screen and screen-free options for students. As we began remote learning in March, we set up distribution days for families to pick up devices from the school during the periods of distance learning. We look forward to continuing our learning in person and remotely in the coming school year. Homework's an important component of any elementary school experience. At Growing Up Green, we believe that the purpose of homework is to build a foundation of skills and routines to help students as lifelong learners. We encourage you to read with your student each day, to build positive work habits and associations with homework, to build stamina, and maintain that homeschool connection. In grades K through 3, weekly homework packets are assigned and students are able to work through them at their pace. In 4th and 5th grade, students begin receiving nightly homework in preparation for middle school. Monitoring student progress throughout the school year is an important component to tracking students and supporting them where they are. At Growing Up Green, there are 2 main assessments that are used. Looking forward, looking back is our internal assessment that we administer in 6-week intervals. This helps us look at how students are progressing towards grade level benchmarks. Additionally, in students grades 3 through 8, all take the New York State ELA math and science tests. Here you can see how Growing Up Green performed compared to city, state, and district. As a charter school and part of our reporting process is looking at our students as a whole and in 2-year cohorts. As you can see from the chart below, all students are indicated in the dark green, and students in our 2-year cohort are indicated in the light green.
Hi everyone, my name is Kirsten Russell and I'm the Director of Support Services at Growing Up Green. If your child has an IEP or a 504 plan, We are here to help answer any questions you might have during this enrollment process. If you haven't done this already, please make sure to share a copy of your child's IEP or individualized education plan in the office. This will help us to ensure that our services are able to begin in the fall in the time you want. We look forward to meeting you, your family, and ensuring your child's learning is supported throughout care.
Hi, my name is Anthony Lisi, and I am the IEP Support Services Coordinator at Growing Up Green. Some of the special education services we offer at our school include Integrated Co-Teaching Classes, or ICT, Special Education Teacher Support Services, or SETS, Counseling Services, Speech and Language Therapy, Occupational Therapy, Physical Therapy, and Hearing Services. Our goal is for our students to develop their social, emotional, and academic ability.
Hello, my name is Rachel Galtham, and I am the ENL coordinator at Growing Up Green. Welcome. We know that it is an asset to belong to a community that speaks over 40 different languages. We can all learn and grow so much from listening to and knowing each other. As an ENL team, our job is to support students who are coming to school and learning a new language at the same time as new academic content. We know that that requires support and takes a lot of hard work. We provide support by going into the classroom and helping students access the curriculum alongside their peers and general education teachers. And sometimes we have small groups that meet outside of the classroom where we provide a safe space for students to practice their newly acquired English skills. If you have any questions about the language support your child may need or may be eligible for, please reach out and send an email. I look forward to meeting you all.
Hello, I'm Erin Acosta, the Director of Development at Growing Up Green. I oversee GUG's family engagement and fundraising activities. I'm also a Growing Up Green parent. My daughter is entering the 8th grade in the fall, and my son is a graduate of Growing Up Green. He graduated 3 years ago. At Growing Up Green, we really value our families as partners in their child's education. There are many ways for you to be a part of our school community. We have a robust parent-teacher organization, our PTO. You are automatically a member, so welcome. Our PTO hosts fun activities throughout the school year, and they sponsor many important programs, including our recycled uniform sales and our book fairs. There are a lot of fun ways for you to be involved in your child's education, and we invite you to join us at the school for family game nights and family workshops. So you can see here, we have pictures of family literacy night, family fitness night, and our volunteers at the book fair in the fall. We also have whole school events like the Winter Carnival and assemblies. We host publishing parties in our classrooms, and we invite families to be chaperones on our many, many field trips. The pictures here, you can see families at our science night and our welcome back gardening event and the potluck at the Winter Carnival. Of course, all of these events are pending CDC and DOH recommendations as we move into the fall. On remote learning, we have tried to keep our sense of community alive by having Zoom events for our families and engaging our community in fun activities like our Spirit Fridays. One of the ways we support all our students and our families is by asking everyone to make a contribution, whatever that size contribution works for your family, that goes towards all the programs that we have at Growing Up Green. For example, we will not be asking you to be buying school supplies for your child's classroom. Instead, we buy them in bulk, and we ask families to make a donation that goes towards their purchase. Also, all our children will be going on all the field trips. They will have access to all the special programs. And this year we are making sure that our families have the technology that they need, just in case we need to go back into remote learning. So in August, you'll be getting more information about how you can make a donation, but we fundraise together so that every student at Growing Up Green has access to these great programs. One of the wonderful parts about being a student at Growing Up Green is how we make sure that what is happening in the classroom comes alive for our students. And a big part of that is our EdTime programming and our field trips. Our students go on lots and lots of field trips, and it really is a great way for families to get involved, because in order for the field trips to happen, we need chaperones. So you'll see pictures here from the Staten Island Ferry, the Brooklyn Bridge, Brooklyn Grange, Rooftop Farm, and a long list here of lots of the great places we've gone in the last few years. Of course, next year may look a little different. So we will be waiting on guidance from the CDC, the DOH, and the DOE, and we will adjust our field trip plans accordingly. If we are unable to go out into the city with our students, we will find ways to bring the city to them through remote learning. Another part of our EdTime programming are our in-school residencies. These are programs where we invite teaching artists to come to the school and expand our students' learning. Here you see our 4th grade Native Peoples residency, our 3rd grade Chinese culture workshop, and our 1st graders created an in-school post office. These project-based learning experiences ground our students in real-world learning, and they're a lot of fun.
I'm the Senior Director of Operations at Growing Up Green Charter Schools. I'll be introducing Jana Lunetta, who's the Associate Director of Operations at Growing Up Green Charter School Elementary in Long Island City. We're super excited to have you here tonight, and super excited to start the new year with you.
Hello, I'm Jana Lunetta, Associate Director of Operations. I know most of you have either been in touch directly with me or a member of my team, and we're really looking forward to meeting you all. Here to put some faces to names, we have Ms. Nixie, our Office Administrator, Ms. H, Alex Huberweiss, who's our Operations Manager, and Rebecca Rosa and Sarah Rosa, who are not related, but are always ready to help answer any questions you may have. Here are some of the things my team and I handle throughout the school year and what we'll be going over into greater detail here. They are enrollment, transportation, breakfast and lunch, uniforms, medical, and after school. Generally, the free yellow school bus is provided for all our students who live in District 30. This is provided through the Department of Education's Office of Pupil Transportation. And if you click on this link, it will bring you to the OPT's rules of eligibility. Bus routes and stops are traditionally assigned in late August by the OPT. So while we don't have the bus information for this coming school year just yet, we can provide you with a list of past bus stops if you'd like. Just reach out to one of us and we can send this to you. Two other quick things to note. This is not door-to-door service, but generally students have a bus stop within a few blocks of their residence. And according to the OPT's guidelines, students must use the same bus stop every day. Here's some information on breakfast and lunch, which is provided through School Food, the same organization most DOE schools use throughout the city. Both breakfast and lunch are free for all students. We do ask that you submit the annual lunch form, which is available starting July 1st, and we'll also be reaching back out to you over the summer once it's available to remind you to fill it out. You are, of course, welcome to pack your child a healthy lunch from home, but please keep in mind we do not heat up food for students. And also, students generally have a daily shared snack in the classroom. Once a month, families are asked to bring in enough individually wrapped snacks for each student in their class. We do have and follow a healthy food policy, which supports our overall mission here at Growing Up Green. And all of these details can also be found in our family handbook, which is published each year and posted on our school's website. And as we mentioned, we do provide all the school supplies your child will need here at Growing Up Green, but your child does need to bring a water bottle with them each day, and they can fill this up at any of our hands-free water fountains. Moving on to uniforms, they are required for all students. Details, including links to our uniform providers, which are Land's End and French Toast, can be found on our website or by clicking the link on this slide. And our parent-teacher organization also has details on fair trade uniforms if that's something you might be interested in. Here are some examples of our uniform. The polo shirts are white in this picture, but you can choose from any color you'd like: red, yellow, blue, purple, pink, green, etc. Bottoms are only khaki pants, shorts, or skirts. And sweaters are available from our providers, Land's End and French Toast, and they must have the school logo embroidery. And most closed-toed shoes are acceptable. I usually suggest a nice pair of sneakers since we do have recess every day. And also just want to note the clothing items that are not acceptable, which include Crocs, open-toed shoes, hoodies, or hats. Here you can see that we have a nurse on site every day from 8 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The nurse is provided through the DOH or Department of Health. I know we've already been in touch with most of you about medical paperwork, and just a reminder that we will need all students' most up-to-date immunizations and their health exam form before the start of the school year. You can submit these directly to me or one of my team members by email. And we'll also need your child's MAF or medical administration form if your child has any allergies or asthma conditions that require them to have medication administered at school. In addition to being in touch with the school nurse about any medical conditions, we also always ask families to make sure their child's classroom teachers and the main office, which is my team, are aware of these medical conditions. And if you have any questions at all about any of these things that I've gone over, please reach out to me via email, and I will be sure that either myself, Ms. Nixie, or one of the Ms. Rosas will get back with you as soon as possible. And now I will turn it over to Alex for our after-school program.
Hi everyone, my name is Alex and I'm the operations manager here at Growing Up Green 1 in Long Island City. I'm going to be talking to you about the after school program and giving you a sense of what every afternoon looks like and what you can expect from us. Hi again. So the after school program is offered every afternoon, Monday through Friday from 3:30 until 6 p.m. Students who are signed up for our after-school program would go straight to their clubs following regular school dismissal at 3:15. Our afternoons are broken up into 3 club blocks, from 3:30 to 4:30, 4:30 to 5:30, and 5:30 until 6 p.m. We encourage families to pick up their students at either of those 3 times between club blocks, so either at 4:30 p.m., 5:30 p.m., or at 6 p.m. Our afternoons are built to be as flexible as possible so that families can sign up for the coverage that they need based on their work hours. So students can be signed up for 1 club block every afternoon, for the first 2 club blocks every afternoon, or for all 3 club blocks every day. We also encourage people to sign up for whatever clubs they find the most interesting and only come for the ones that they really love, if that is possible for the family. Our program is built to be absolutely designed for each student to get what they need. Our program runs in 2 semesters. The first semester, our fall semester, runs from mid-September through January, and the second semester, which is our spring semester, runs from February and through June. There is no break between these 2 semesters, so there would never be a gap in after-school coverage because we know that people need this coverage as much as possible. The only time where we wouldn't have after school would be when the school is already on a break, such as spring break or Thanksgiving break. The other days where we cannot offer after school is when the school has 1 p.m. dismissals or early dismissals. These dismissals are days when there are family teacher conferences or all school events, such as the Sustainability Fair. On those days, there would not be after school offered. The cost of clubs is based on how many clubs a student is in. Our after-school cost is $10 per club per day. So for example, if a student is only signed up for 1 club each week, that would be $10 per week or $40 per month. This monthly cost is an estimate. Some months that we are in school have fewer weeks in them because we are already on a school break, such as December, where the last week of that month we are on winter break. So the monthly cost for December would only be about $30. Our clubs are led by Growing Up Green staff and by working artists and specialists who we bring in as independent contractors. All of these people get to design their clubs around whatever topics or interests they themselves care about and want to share with our students. We try to offer a huge range of different topics to capture as many different interests as possible. We often have many diverse things such as Cooking Club, which is always incredibly popular and students come back every year, to Harry Potter Club, to Puzzle Club, to Lego Club, to various sports clubs like soccer and basketball, and everything in between. We really encourage teachers to think about ways that they want to build their students' social emotional lives and engage them in topics that they might not be able to experience during a normal school day. Our clubs are offered on a first-come, first-served basis. Each club has about 20 students in it, and the first people who sign up for a club get into that club. This means that unfortunately we cannot guarantee a spot for every student in every club that they want, but we try to offer as many interesting clubs as possible so that there is at least something that they're excited about in every time slot. We will be sending out more information about what our schedule is and what clubs are being offered each semester in the first week in September, so please keep an eye open for that at the end of the summer. There will also be information coming out then about registration. Please keep an eye out for what time and what day that registration will open, and try to register as soon as possible. Again, because of this first come, first serve basis, we want to make sure that as many people get their first choices as possible. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day, and we hope to see you in after school next year.
I'm sure many of you are curious about our school calendar and our first day of school for next school year. We are currently awaiting guidance from the New York City Department of Education on their calendar before finalizing ours. Once it's finalized, we will be sure to share it with you. Traditionally, Growing Up Green starts the last week of August. We can't wait to meet all of you and begin learning and growing together. Thank you again for coming to learn more about Growing Up Green and joining our community. Thank you for joining us for this information session. Please visit our website at www.gugcs.org for more information about our school. Now that you're part of our school community, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for updates on our school and see pictures of students in real-time learning. All right, thank you everyone for listening through all of that information. We're going to transition into our Q&A session. So Ms. Shi, who I introduced earlier as our assessment coordinator, is here. She's going to be reading questions to us, and members from the panel will be answering them.
Our first question today is, if we are still doing remote learning in the fall, how do we plan to build a sense of community for incoming kindergarteners?
It's a really great question. As of right now, we do not know if we will be in remote learning or what learning will look like in the fall. We're following guidance from the CDC, the Department of Health, and the Department of Education as we make plans for next year. An important piece to that is building community, and we are dedicated to doing everything in our power to make sure we build those connections between students and teachers. We're currently using Zoom as a platform to have face-to-face conversations with students, and we plan to continue to use that in the fall.
We have another question about sharing supplies. As in light of the COVID-19, sharing supplies is a concern and can lead to sharing germs. So how will we address that as a school?
Absolutely, that's another wonderful question. As we begin to plan for next year, we have assembled a reopening committee, which includes members of our operations team, members from leadership, teachers, parents, and consultants on the health and safety of children. So we are revisiting all of our practices as we begin to plan for next year. The health and safety of our children, our students, our families, and our staff is our first priority here at Growing Up Green, and we will do everything in our power to ensure that.
There's a really great question about any major changes for the school for the next 1 to 3 years. For example, is there expansion? Are we developing any new programs? And any plans or discussions around adjusting class sizes?
Okay, so I'm gonna break that one apart a little bit. We are currently in Long Island City, kindergarten through 8th grade, so we are at full expansion for our school. So we are not expanding there. As far as revisiting programming, programming is something that we continuously look at to ensure that we are offering things that are relevant, purposeful, and accessible for all of the students we serve. So on a yearly basis, we reevaluate programming, curriculum, and units of study to support every student in our community. The last part of that question, Angela, was about class size.
Yes.
So that is part of one of the subjects that our reopening committee is evaluating.
Those seem to be the major questions, unless anybody else has anything else that they would like to ask as well. If you have a question, you can type it directly into the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. There's a question about what percentage of children do not get after-school spots, even if they applied for it.
Jana, do you want to take that one?
Hi, yes, good question. So what percentage of students, we want the percentage of students that don't get a spot in after school, obviously, to be 0. It all depends on how many teachers and independent contractors we have and how many students sign up for after school clubs. So I can say that in years past, some semesters, there are times when we have such a demand that there's so many students that they don't all get spots. But I can also say that in most semesters, we do work really hard to place every child.
And just to add to that, a child might not get their first choice in after school, but they may get their second or third choice. So when the information goes out about after school, it's very important that you sign up immediately, you put in all your choices so that your child can get something that they love, even if it's not their first choice.
And it looks like the second part of that question was about, can we confirm that we will have after school on Mondays going forward, because it wasn't offered in the past?
I am happy to confirm to all of the world that we will have after school on Monday, starting next year. We've listened to our families. We know that it's a hardship. I'm a parent as well, to find coverage on Mondays for our families. So it's a surety. You can put it in your notebook, write it everywhere. We're having after school on Monday.
There's a question about whether or not we will have a Zoom interview to get to know incoming kindergartners to help us decide how to form heterogeneous classes.
We haven't decided that yet. We are evaluating the best ways to get to know our new students. We're also listening to the city and their guidance as regulations begin to lift. We are taking that into consideration as well. So we have not fully fleshed that system out yet, but we will continue to keep you updated.
Thank you. Can you speak, Eris, to what our remote learning looks like right now? There's a parent asking, is it like homeschooling where parents are doing the bulk of the teaching, or are the teachers taking that lift?
So it's a bit of a hybrid. Our focus right now is the health, safety, and well-being of our students and our families. We are very mindful that we are teaching and learning during a crisis. And so our remote learning is a bit of a hybrid right now. So morning meeting is offered live every day at the same time. Lessons are posted with videos embedded within them, just like you saw this evening, or voiceover instructions. Teachers then offer 2 different 30-minute periods throughout the day where they review content in real time. Our specials teachers also host live sessions one day a week. We are continuing to evaluate our remote learning, and the longer that we stay in it, we will adapt to meet the needs of our community further.
Thank you. And then to confirm, will you be sending out this presentation? Some families are asking about the after school process for applications and the costs and stuff like that.
Jana, do you want to take that?
Hi, I'm sorry. I was responding to some more Q&A that had come through. Can you just repeat that question, Angela?
Yeah. Are you going to be sending out this presentation so that the information is accessible for families after this webinar?
Yes, of course. That will be, you'll see the whole slide presentation will be sent to everyone that's attending tonight. And then we'll also actually be sending around the recording. So you'll get to hear our voices again if you want to take another listen. So yes, that will be getting sent out probably tomorrow.
This is an ops question. What do we need in order to complete the registration for students? I think that's in terms of paperwork and things like that.
Yep, so I can answer that one also. You know, I know most of you have, like I said, been in touch with either myself or one of my team members. The paperwork that needed to be uploaded to our online registration portal was the birth certificate, proof of residency, proof of address, your immunizations, and if you do have a health exam form. And then there were also forms, the home language survey and the housing questionnaire that needed to be downloaded as PDFs, filled out, and then re-uploaded. If you have any questions about, you know, whether your registration was submitted correctly, I encourage you to reach out directly to one of us and we can take a look at your profile and make sure that it is complete. But that's just basically the basics. If you were able to get to the submission page on the online portal, then you're probably in good shape. My team and I are now going through all of that and double checking to make sure that everything looks a-okay. And if it does not, you will be hearing from us. So stay tuned.
There's a question about, since remote learning may be the case early on, do we have flexibility with getting uniforms for students?
Yes, there's always flexibility with getting uniforms at the start of the school year, and we will continue to be flexible as we all navigate COVID-19 and what that means for school.
There are several questions about, is it possible to request classes for students so that they can be placed with friends?
If you have a request, you can certainly reach out to us and let us know what your request is. I cannot guarantee requests. Our goal as a school is to create balanced classes that are going to function well together.
How do you think Growing Up Green will be affected by budget cuts for this next year?
I can help take that one, Eris, if you like.
Yeah, you can, sure.
Like all publicly funded institutions in the country and in the state of New York, we know that there are budget cuts coming. We are working with the board, our school board, to ensure that the valuable programs and our staff are supported. And we are working on the budget currently and continuing to refine it, and we're waiting to hear from, we get our funding directly from Albany, directly from the state, what our per pupil allocation is going to be next year, how much money we get per student from the state. If any family here would like to participate, there is a campaign going on right now, and it's not just about charter schools, but it's about public schools in general, to urge our local lawmakers, especially our state lawmakers, to do the right thing and make sure that the cuts are not too deep for all public school students across the state, but especially here in New York City. The links to that are actually on our Facebook pages. So I encourage you all to stay connected with our school community, and right now, seeing we're all being safe and staying at home, a great way to do that is on social media. But we do expect there will be a cut. We are just not sure how deep that cut will be, and we are planning for it, and we'll do our best to keep all the great programs we have going to make sure that they happen for our students. We don't want our kids to be hurt by those budget cuts.
Thank you, Erin. Is it possible for students to register for the school even if they live in a different borough?
Masame or Jana?
So if you, and Jana, let me know if I'm getting this question wrong. Jana's like my left and right hand. If you get accepted in our lottery and you are living in a different borough, we can say that busing will not be available for you. Busing is within District 30. But we have families that are coming from different boroughs that commute in with their kids. Sometimes they work in Long Island City and they're commuting in with their kids every day, so that's definitely possible. Each family it's different. Just making sure you're aware of our school day, how long it is, and just preparing for any issues with the trains or the buses, etc., as you're commuting to school. So it's a strong likelihood if you're in a different borough that you could still be at Growing Up Green. Usually in the first round of students are within the borough or within the district, but it might be different.
Are there any other questions? I'm working on answering one right now.
Janet, did I answer that question pretty clear? Did I miss anything?
Yeah, no, that sounded good to me. Thank you.
I see here a question, I think it sort of relates to the question you just answered, Masame. If the plan is to continue to learn remotely and a child moves out of New York City, do they have to leave the school? And I think that is more a question about your home address. So I'll give that to Masame or Jana.
I'm happy to take this one. It would really be on a case-by-case basis. If that is your situation, I encourage you to reach out either to myself or Masame or Eris directly, and we can address that situation. Like I said, it would be on a case-by-case basis. I know there's so many unknowns right now, but I definitely, if you think that that might be your situation, please reach out and we can definitely discuss that one-on-one.
And I see Angela is continuing to answer questions, so I think this is a good one for the live group. This comes from a parent. One of the things we love about the school is the ability to attend morning meetings in the classroom with the kids. Is there, in light of COVID-19, how we're going to handle that going forward temporarily? Eris, do you want to speak a little to morning meetings?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Morning meeting is one of the things that makes our school so special and really bridges that home and school connection for students. In response to COVID-19 and how that impacts morning meeting, again, we will be relying on our consultants, the CDC, the Department of Health, and the DOE for guidance there. Before school closures this past spring, we did limit access during morning meetings to ensure the safety of children and their teachers, but we will continue to evaluate that as we move forward. Once again, it's one of the things that makes our school so special, and we'll do what we can to get that back, but we want to do it in a way that keeps everyone safe. Seems like this might be a natural stopping point for us this evening. So I just wanted to once again say thank you all for taking time to come and learn about our school. We are so happy to have you join our school community. We know that the fall is a bit uncertain at the moment, but we promise to keep you updated on what that will look like. And if you have any questions along the way, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're all here and happy to help answer any of those questions. Thank you and have a great night.